Well, hello. How are you over
Good
there?
morning. Very good. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's like we're having a major windstorm and heat wave at the same time.
I was in Vegas for the convention and it was 111.
Yes.
So when I got back to OC and it was in the 80s and it was like heaven. So I won't complain, the
Yes. So you definitely understand what's happening here. But for some reason, overnight, well, it was a big storm coming out of Arizona. And so we've had a lot of high winds and humidity. So it's not only hot, it's hot and a little humid, which is
Oh wow.
unusual.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah. Well, welcome everyone to another episode of Wealth Doctors. I'm Dr. Stephanie Ardrey, and with me is Dr. Andrea Lee.
Um, it's another Wednesday morning. We here to share with you all the informations about financial uh, news and things that could help you to make decision or give you information to improve financial health, right? So we wanted to share with you. I know a lot of panic has been happening in the last couple of days. On Monday, there's a big market drop, sell off, market sell off, right? So just 1,000 points drops in what's Nasdaq. That
And
triggers a lot of panic. Yeah.
ab- absolutely. I mean, it's been a combination of not only, but to me, when I think about the cyclical factors of the market always shifts, especially during a political cycle.
Mhm.
I think we're going to see a lot of shifts. And of course, as always, the conversations about the economy. Of course, as we have the political cycle in full force, as each administration or plans and proposes what their solutions will be, how they plan to address, then typically we see different reactions. And I think that sometimes the reactions of the market is really the market's way of showing its vote for or against what seems
Mhm.
to be the popular commentary of the day. So I don't know if there was the jitters around what's happening politically. I don't know if there were concerns about the current administration. There's been a lot of grumbling about, is Biden capable of leading for the balance of his term? What does that do? What does that create? I don't know. What say you?
I think it's a combination of everything that going on. The market has been all-time high, so there is a cycle that we're going through, right? There's a lot of fear about recession fears and the Fed's concerns and all of that. So, in combination, on Monday, we're talking about $6.4 trillion, according to the Bloomberg News, was 6.4 trillion stock dollars of stock wiped out.
Wow.
So, yes. So major sell-off, people are moving the money toward bonds or something a lot safer to hold their money and grow. And especially in this economy, we don't know. We don't know what the next step is going to be, right? So especially right now is a time if you near retirement age, you want to protect what you have right now, especially you in ours in the 60s right now. You only have less than 10 years toward your retirement. You want to protect what you have and also grow that money, you know, conservatively, right? I mean, we all want to uh, gain the money in the stock market, but there is a lot of risk involved. So you want to balance that out, especially your time horizon. So check where you are in this stage of near retirement. You have 10 years toward your retirement, 20 years. You have 20 years, and yes, if the market hits or sell off or drop down, you have some time to gain it back. But within less than 10 years, it would take a lot longer. and you may lose what you have saved up for your retirement nest egg. So this is the thing that we need to take into consideration when you plan for retirement, especially. So what are other vehicles out there to protect your money besides just bonds, right? Bonds is safe, but we're talking about low yield bonds. So low yield bond, does it even beat the inflation?
Yeah, and that's the part that a lot of times people don't consider is not only the inflation
Mhm.
risk, but the fact that we have both the inflation, we have the increase, the dollars. I was thinking about this the other day, that
Mhm.
speaking to a client, for example, that has accounts receivables that are aged, and it's horrible, because the reality is every day those dollars depreciate in value, in terms of not only their buying power. So trying to collect on aging accounts receivables is an example of you're losing the value of those dollars every day that they remain outstanding. And so that
Mhm.
you think about that, as not only, again, inflation is happening, um, but just overall cost, natural cost are increasing uh, across the board.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fears going on right now. We talk about recession fears that is happening in the last few years of uh, the the interest rate keep going up and the inflation risk and all of that risk involved. So I just want to share you this table, the market loss for the market loss. So let me just see if I can bring this up.
Okay.
You see this?
Yes, yes.
So we are talking about if the market, this is the break even burden after the market loss. So a lot of people are concerned, like the percentage loss and what you have to gain after 1 year to break even. So let's say if the market drops 50%, just for the severe scenario, 50%, the following year, you have to make at least 100% to break even. And do you know with 100% to break even, how hard that is to break even after 1 year? It may take years after that to break even, not 1 year to gain 100%, right? There's no way you can gain 100% after the market loss. So
Well,
let's say you have 100,000 in the stock market and it drops 50%, you only have 50,000 left, right? Now you have to gain 50,000 more to break even. So that's mean it's 100% of what you have right now to break even, to bring it back to where you were before, with just 100,000.
wow.
So we look at this table, sometimes it's hard to imagine, the amount of money that you have in the stock market and the loss and how much you have to gain after 1 year to break even. And a lot of people doesn't realize or don't realize that, it may take several years. It may take, if the interest rate is lower, it could take you more than 10 years or 5 or 10 years to even break even of what you have before. So why not protect what you have to make sure that your principal is never lost, not even a penny, right? So there is a way to do that. There are strategies out there that I want to share today that you can protect your money and make sure not a penny lost to the stock market.
And that's really valuable if you can avoid losses, right?
Right. And of course, you don't want to, if you want to exchange for gain or high interest, then of course something has to give, right? Higher interest mean higher risk, correct? So what we're talking about here is more conservative borrow, something that guarantee that you never lose and guarantee interest. So a lot of people are interested in What we're talking about is MIGA, which is the multi-year guarantee account that help you to gain interest and also protects when the market downturn, so you don't lose a penny. They guarantee you that you don't lose a penny when the market drops. So I think that's important, especially when you're near 60, that you near retirement, you want to diversify your portfolio. If you have 401k, you don't want to put everything in the stock market. Some of it may have bonds, mutual funds, or annuities, or even life, life insurance. We're talking about index universal life insurance that give you an opportunity to gain when the market goes up, appreciate. So there are opportunities out there that you can balance out and have a well diverse portfolio that protect you and your asset when you're near retirement. Yeah.
And so with the MIGA, as you mentioned, that type of annuity, what I guess I understand is that you are able to have a fixed period of time
Mhm.
that you have that annuity, and then you are able to generate interest. What happens if it is that you find yourself in a year, for example, where there is a down cycle? This type of annuity basically, although it's not gaining, you're saying it's not going to decline in value. So it's just fixed at a
Mhm.
particular place, or is there over the period of time a particular rate that's sort of it's been averaged maybe over a period of time? Which way do you see this annuity functioning?
So the MIGA is called multi-year guarantee annuity. It is offer basically it have a fixed interest. It's a contract
Hmm.
that guarantee a fixed interest rate for a fixed period of time. So let's say it could be a 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years, and they guarantee that interest. So for example, we have one right now that guarantee at 5.15% interest, and that could be fixed for a whole 5 years period. So you're talking about even if the market drops, you don't lose a penny.
Hmm.
Whatever you have in this MIGA, your money is protected 100% and guaranteed not a penny loss, and gain at 5.15% each year during the contract years. So we're talking about 5 years contract, so that for the whole 5 years, every year your interest will be gained at 5.15% basically. So let's say if you start out at 100,000, let me see here. Yeah, you start out at 100,000. So after year one, you would gain about 105, 105, 150, because it's 5.15%.
Okay.
So, and then year two, you would go up to 110, 110, 563. So it's also compounding interest too.
Okay.
So if you compare this with a CD, a lot of people like CD because you can put your money in a fixed CD rate for 6 months, 12 months, 1 to 2 years, or even longer period of time that lock up your money. But with the CD, the interest usually is lower and it doesn't compound the interest.
Mm.
Each year, the downside of the CD is that each year you pay tax on the interest that you gain, and it does not compound. Whereas MIGA, you compound each year and you don't pay tax until you take your money out. So you could just leave the money there for a whole 5 years and it keep compounding interest for you. So that is a nice thing about the MIGA. And
Yeah.
we're talking about fixed interest rate of 5.15% fixed annual rate. That is huge, because if you compare to I was looking up the rate today, the high use CD, high yield CDs. If you look at Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, and all the banks. Right now, the 5 years is about 4%.
Mm.
That's for the Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, I think, has the relatively higher interest rate right now. But if you look at Bank of America, it's a lot lower, a lot lower. Yeah. And of course, it's a 5 years, 5 years that you have to keep the money in there. But every year that you gain in the city, remember you have to pay tax. They send you a statement at the end of the year, like is it 1099? I think there's a different term for that, but
Mhm.
you have to pay tax every year, and and that may not beat the inflation, correct?
Right.
Because we're talking
Exactly.
about inflation is about at least 3% per year, but if you gain about 4%, you pay an inflation rate, and you also pay the tax. So where you end up, right?
Exactly.
Could
Like,
be
and
less.
if
It
you
could be a
even
lot
break
less.
it even. Yes, exactly, exactly. It's the example of really your buying power, you know, working in reverse. And so,
Right, right.
yeah, absolutely.
So then, if you're holding cash in a bank account right now, if you have, a lot of people are just like, the safest way is just to hold cash. Just have it in the bank, it's FDIC insured. But think about it. Inflation rate is kicking in 3% every year. You're losing that. Let's say $100. You're losing $3 every year. The value, right? 10 years, 30%, that's $30 lost. So $100 may worth about $70 10 years from now, right? And you see that before the pandemic and after the pandemic, the inflation rate is so high that the cost of living and everything is so high. I mean, you go to supermarket, right away. I go to Costco and I see how many items in my basket. I know exactly how much I spend. And before you can see a lot more with 100 or a couple $100, but now look in your cart, it's a lot less for the same value.
Absolutely, absolutely. $100 doesn't buy very much at the grocery store, and definitely still not even at Costco, you know?
Yeah.
It's the inflation is definitely there. And the fact of the matter that not only are the markets, you
Mhm.
know, volatile, but also the fact that, again, as you've mentioned, bank accounts are not really providing you with an interest rate return based on the idea that you're putting your money there or letting your money sit there in a safe, what you think is safe. It's really costing you,
It
costing you
is a
considerably.
big cost.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you're trading safety for inflation rate and cost. So, I would just hold enough, maybe about 3 to 6 months, average about 6 months of emergency fund, just so you have it. But the rest, diversify it out, have it into a vehicle that help you to grow money and protect your principal and also beat the inflation rate. So the interest, even the high yield of bonds right now, it is the bond rate can drop. A lot of people are dumping money into bond right now because of the stock market is very volatile.
Mhm.
Um, if you have 20 years, you're fine. I mean, if it's a long-term investment strategy, don't get panic. I mean, the market drops, it will go up. But if you have less time, then that can be a strategy, right? Because if you lose, you don't have that much time to gain it back.
I think
So
that that's really the biggest part is what you mentioned is the time. What is the
the
time that
time,
you have your
right?
time
Mhm.
horizon? Yeah. And
Yeah.
when are the places that you think that you will need access to resources? And how do you creatively, create liquidity with
Mhm.
the assets that you have while at the same time ensuring that if you are sitting on assets that they're growing in value, yeah, in such a way that you ultimately are having your dollars work for you rather than just vanish in front of you.
Right. And people are looking for ways to move their money or ship the assets to another vehicle that help them to save and also protect the principal. So MIGA is one of the most popular vehicle that people are moving their money toward to protect and also get guaranteed interest rate. That is huge. That is powerful to guarantee a fixed interest rate. We're talking about 5.15%. That and also not a penny lost to the market. So number one, it helps you to secure your retirement. So if you have a retirement nest egg right now, 500,000, $1 million, with the market drops right now, we say 30%, you could end up to 700,000. Why not move that into a MIGA, help to protect your principal 100%, not one penny is lost, and also participate into the fixed interest rate, 5.5%. I'm sorry, 5.15%, which is much higher than the CD if you compare to the CD. The guarantee rate for 5 years is growth tax defer. So that is important, and also compounding interest rate. So if you compare to the CD, your interest rate you have to pay every year, the tax on that every year. So it's not really compounding, right?
Right. No, if you're paying your taxes, and especially if you're in a higher bracket at this particular
Mhm.
time, then it's not the best time to have to address your tax liability. You want to definitely find a time where, you may be in a more tax advantaged position
Right.
before you incur, which is what's great by being able to have a fixed annuity, because you can sort of pick the time in the future where maybe your situation is different,
Yeah. You
relates to
know,
those.
there are so many annuities out there, and the MIGA is one of the most popular choice because it's a shorter duration, and is guaranteed that you never lose a penny of your deposit. So that is very important for people that going into retirement years, especially in their 60. And also, you can access your money too. Access, especially CD. If you have a 5 year CD, that means you have to lock up your money for at least 5 years before you access your money, correct? But the
Mhm.
MIGA, you can access your money after year one.
Oh, really? That's a
Yeah.
that's a bonus. That's yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
thing to
You can
know.
access up to 10% of accumulation value, penalty free after year one.
Yeah. So
So
that's yeah.
So your money is not locked up totally, and you get to participate in the fixed interest environment that guarantee a growth. So 100,000, if you have in Amiga, after 5 years, you could end up 128,000, 542. Versus if you just have that in a CD, it may be 122,000. So we're talking about at least $5,000 less compared to a CD 5 years and a MIGA 5 years.
Yeah, and you still have to deduct whatever the taxes are from that amount as well. Yeah. No, they're
Right,
each of
right.
those costs definitely add up, and it
Mhm.
definitely erodes the ultimate value of your money, your portfolio. And so definitely thinking about these things are important. And if you have questions, definitely speak with your financial professionals. You should really have a team. I think a lot of
Mhm.
times people look to one particular solution without considering what other options are available. You don't think of, beyond just, maybe if I have a 401k at work, I just kind of put it away and not think twice about it. But if you're preparing for retirement, if you're thinking about retirement in the next 3, 5, 10 years,
10 years. Mhm.
you want to definitely, evaluate, where are you along that journey? Are there needs to make adjustments? Are there needs to update policies? Have there been life changes? Have you had changes within your family makeup or composition? Um, are you planning any type of strategic moves? Are you planning any career adjustments?
Mhm.
What kinds of things do you have on the horizon, and how should you best prepare for those particular things? As well as, what unforeseen conditions may have been presented to your circumstances, and how can you adjust based on those new realities as well. So it's important to have and build relationships. I say it's important to build relationships so you can get information. And it's about, having an understanding. What you're going to find is each set of professionals tend to focus on usually different tools. Some focus on several tools, and
Mhm.
you just want to gain insight and information so that you can make the most informed decisions about your future and your well-being.
Right. I mean, it's if you, especially if you have annuities or IRA, 401k right now, and at your workplace, and you are 59 and a half, most company will allow you to roll that out once you still, in service rollover into a plan, or move that into a plan that helps to safeguard your money instead of putting all of that into the stock market. As IRA, old IRAs that you have that you have not monitored, or don't know how to diversify it out or how to grow it, you know, contact us. Let us know. We can share with you the information how to protect what you have, what you currently have, not a penny loss, and also grow that money in a guaranteed environment. So there's many options out there. You just have to look and search, and also talk to your financial professionals and see, what available out there that help you to grow your money instead of just focus on the 401k and not diversify it out in the sense that to protect what you have currently. So I want to share with you another screen right here. This screen is called the power of indexing strategies. Now, a lot of annuities, especially the index annuities right now, it helps you to participate in the gain when the
Mhm.
market goes up, but your money is not in the market. So therefore, 100% of your money is protected, even the market drops. So there are two big lines right here that you see. The red line, you see the red line, right?
Yes.
The red line and the green line. Hold on, let me just move this. The the red line is the stock market, the 401k. That's where your money is right now. So if the market goes up, you gain a lot. If you start out just 100,000 in 1998, you see the market goes appreciate, right? You gain. And then at 2002, when it drops, you see the drops in 2002, right? It drops a lot. You see big dips right here in 2002, right there. Now, then when the market goes up, you gain again, and the market goes down, you lose again. So it's up and down, up and down. So over the course of about 18, 20 years, you still end up more money at the end. But if you compare with the green line is called what indexing strategies. You only capture the gain. So when the market goes up, you capture the gain and you locked in the gain each year. That is very, very important that you locked in your gain. Whereas the stock market or your money in the IRA or the 401k, you expose 100% at the market risk. So, if you see in 2000, when the market drops in 2000, you don't gain anything that year, but you don't lose anything. See, that is very powerful of sequence of return too, because the following year, if you look at the red line in 2002, you see there's a huge drop there, right?
Absolutely. It's important to be able to preserve your principal. Yes, it makes a difference.
Preserve and also locked in what you had already gained.
Hmm.
And for the years that the market drops, indexing strategy would protect your money. And also, the years that the market drops, you don't gain anything, but you don't lose anything. Are you okay with that? I'd be
Right.
okay with that, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
I would just rather locked in that year, not losing a penny, and the following year when the market appreciate, my money goes up again. So here we only capture the gain. So indexing strategy is it's very powerful. Not a lot of people know about indexing strategy. If we utilize this to grow your money, at the end, if you compare that 100,000 when you start in 1998 and 2016, the green line, you end up more money with the indexing strategy based on historical rate versus the red line, right? See right there?
Yes, absolutely.
216 or versus 200 something for the indexing strategies. So this is very powerful. I want to let everybody know out there that learn about indexing strategies and apply that into your retirement account and grow your money.
Absolutely. Well, as usual, whenever we dive into one
Oh
of
my God,
these sessions,
time is over.
the time comes and goes so fast. Hopefully, those out there had an opportunity to gain some insights. Our topic for this week was we were talking about a multi-year guaranteed annuity.
Annuity. Mhm.
And so, if it is that you'd like more information about that, definitely I've put in our chat the email address. You can email and ask us more information about that particular topic. That, as well as other topics around planning for your retirement and your future and ensuring that your money, you work hard for it. So, why not allow your money to be empowered to work hard for you as well?
Right. Make sure your army of dollar is working hard for you as well. You put all those years, hard years, to gain, to save and gain over the years. So protect that. Whatever amount that you don't want to lose, contact us. We'll show you a way to protect and gain. Guarantee.
Guaranteed.
Guarantee.
Absolutely. And if it is that you're enjoying what it is we're sharing, make sure you put a reminder on your calendar that every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time now, uh, you can join us live for another episode of Wealth Doctors featuring Dr. Andrea Lee and myself, Dr. Stephanie Ardrey. We hope to see you again next week, and we'll have another exciting topic on how you can preserve your principal
Preserve principle and grow
and grow.
at the same time. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next week. And hopefully, if you have any question, please just email us at info@at welldoctors.us, or drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you.
Fantastic. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.